Hey everybody, I just picked up my RAV4 Prime XSE on Friday, and today is Sunday, so just a few days of driving here, and I'm actually just making a very unprofessional video as someone who's definitely not a car nerd, but has become a pseudo car nerd over the course of the past 60 days or so, just because of my enthusiasm about picking up this new RAV4. I'm just making a video here that kind of covers some of the stuff I wish I would have seen more of before I got my car, because I know a lot of you guys are just hungry for content. So this is where I got it from. They did a great job, except they didn't deflate the tires, but that's apparently a pretty common problem. Here's some rear bumper applique that mine came with, but that's a small upgrade. Didn't mind paying for that. The wheels look great. I think the thing overall has a wonderful look to it. I do think this is a little bit big. Everybody complains about that. They probably have a point, but it's not that big of a deal. I love the color. This is the Silver Sky Metallic color. The badging, originally I had the blackout emblems, but I was actually able to get the dealer to take that off the sticker before it reached the port, which is pretty cool. Probably because I know people. I came from this, and this is the V6 2009 RAV4. This guy is a rocket, so I was a little bit apprehensive at first about upgrading, simply because I wasn't sure if it was going to meet my needs for the performance, but it certainly does. I will say I don't feel, look at this old guy. I mean, this thing was driven for 15 years. V6 is 0 to 60 in a little over 6 seconds, but this guy is 0 to 60 in about 5.5. And besides, it doesn't really matter because the statistics kind of belie the actual performance of this thing in EV mode, is what I discovered. In fact, I think the biggest, most thrilling thing for me has been how much better it performs in EV mode than I originally anticipated it might feel like it did, because the instant torque, I mean, it really is a thing. If you haven't driven an EV, the instant torque is truly amazing. So I actually don't feel like I need any more power when driving at, say, under 45 miles per hour around town in stop and go and stuff like that, than I actually get in this thing in EV mode. And it is dead silent. I mean, it's really an exhilarating combination of no compromise features. It's just really amazing. So I think anybody coming from even a RAV4 V6 is probably going to be extremely thrilled going to this thing, because it does everything it needs to do, and it just sips fuel. It's incredible. So also, a couple other things I want to mention before I do a little more of this interior tour here. I guess I'll move the camera around so you can see stuff while I'm talking. But people talk about this thing not being quiet. Yeah, I think that's just, I mean, look, here's the thing. From somebody who's not a car enthusiast, but who did test drive the Lexus NX 450h and looked at a bunch of other vehicles, and we've got a Honda Pilot 2019 Elite. It's a pretty quiet car, as you can see. Honestly, this thing is very quiet. I mean, I don't know where people are getting that from. I don't know if the 2023 version is just a lot quieter than the previous versions or something like that. I doubt that's the case, but I certainly had no problems with road noise at all. I mean, it sounds fantastic. In fact, the biggest noise is the tires, I think, which I'm going to swap out for probably Michelin Cross Climate 2s, assuming that's the one I pick. But I think that's probably the best bet for this thing, according to most people, especially for winter weather, which we don't get a lot of here in Louisville, but we do get some, and I want to be able to drive confidently with this thing. So anyway, enough about that stuff. Let me show you some of the up close. So everybody talks about this being soft touch. It is. It feels fantastic. I think this is quite soft, actually. There was a review from Force Auto, which he talked about. He thought it was a little bit hard, and I think I disagree with that. Maybe it's been changed in the 2023 model. Who knows? This is very grippy. Really enjoy that. These are, of course, lighted on the 2023 model. I'm not going to go through a lot of the stuff you probably already know, because you've probably already seen a million reviews if you've dug far enough in to get my low-profile garbage video. But I'll show you some stuff maybe that people haven't talked about as much. So speakers, that's the tweeter, and there's another speaker there. So that's, this is the upgraded JBL speakers. Again, this is the XSE trim. It's got the larger screen. I really actually quite like these vents. I think they feel good. Somebody mentioned at some point they thought that they felt cheap, but I don't think so. I think they feel really nice. Again, coming from an '09 RAV4, everything feels nice. And these as well, these knobs are very grippy. I think also in Force Auto reviews, he remarked that he thought that this might wear off over time. Maybe that's the case, but it certainly doesn't feel bad right now. I hope I'm getting good enough video for you to see these things. It just feels fantastic in here. I mean, it really is Lexus adjacent, other than the fact that it's kind of chunky and utilitarian, which I actually really prefer, honestly. I don't like this stupid little Lexus shifter that looks ridiculous. I like this big giant conventional shifter. I'm much more of a fan of that. It feels fantastic, by the way, with this leather wrapping and just overall very good ergonomics. This parking brake, you know, all this stuff, you know all about all these things if you've seen videos about this already, but here's the way mine looks. This is a little bit grippy, enough to the extent that I did not put these little aftermarket guys down there because I didn't want to inhibit the contact that was already apparently pretty tenuous between the charger and most phones. My phone has no problems with it, but that's because it also has no case. It's an S23 Ultra Galaxy, if anybody's interested in knowing that. I did put them up here. That one may or may not stay. It's kind of wrinkly, and I didn't put any adhesive on the bottom, but it looks all right. Glove box, etc. I got the quick charge cable package, which I absolutely did not need, but whatever. It's port installed options. I did get the all-weather mats too, which I really like, and I highly recommend. Let me talk about these seats, though, because the biggest sticking point for me, and nobody spends enough time on this stuff, I think, honestly, with these seats. The seats in the conventional XSE, which is the non-premium package. You know, I would have gotten a premium package originally had I been able to do so, but they are nearly unobtainable. In fact, the XSEs and pretty much all the Primes are hard to get, of course. These seats are fantastic. They really are. I don't know what people are talking about if they complain about them. I know people have said the passenger seat's uncomfortable. Maybe that's the case if you're taller. My wife rides in the passenger seat. She's very short, so it's not really an issue for us. I haven't really tried it much myself yet. I know the lumbar is lacking over there. You can kind of even tell. But other than that, I mean, these things really feel supple. I mean, the Softex is great. It's a lot nicer than the super rock hard leather that I had in my 2009, even though this is perforated. And again, I was worried because I was coming from this, you know, coming from perforated leather, especially lighter colored leather in the summer, you know, absorbs less heat. You know, you've got a little bit of ventilation potential. Well, I got to tell you, I really haven't had any problems. Of course, I haven't driven this in 100-degree weather yet, so the jury's out on that. But the biggest complaint, or the biggest concern I originally had, was this insert here. I'm going to get really up close on this because my phone's awesome and can do this. This is clearly not cloth, okay? I know there's been a lot of debate about this. This is the Softex material. You know, it feels fantastic. You know, I like it more than leather in some respects, I think. This also clearly is some derivative of this, and I believe it is actually a differently textured version of that, including this. I'm not even sure if that's cloth. I don't know if you can tell, but this is very soft. In fact, I think it's softer than this. I think it feels better than this to sit on. So I just I wanted to spend a minute on this because not enough people have. These seats are extremely comfortable. And I have found the driver's seat to be nice and adjustable. So I know some people have complained about this. Everybody has their own opinions. Seats are subjective, clearly, but it's at least much more comfortable than my previous RAV4, and I'm happy to report that. So this is all hard plastic here. This is hard plastic, but it looks nice. This is very soft, and I really enjoy this. And the opening for this, or the actuator, is here. So you push on that. And I did put this tray in aftermarket. It was from Amazon. I think that was a good purchase. Check this out. It's pretty neat. So you can still get to those chargers, and you've got stuff down there. I put that little insert down there too. It's actually a little fuzzy carpeted style bottom if you don't have that. So let's go back here and look at this. So back seats, again, can't say enough about these seats. I really like them. The kids loved them when they sat in them a couple times this weekend. I did get the heated rear seats. It was part of the package that it came with. And the back of this seat does have a pocket. I know there were some trims that didn't happen. I think that was the SE trim. This one does as well, of course. There's a little bit of room here. Somebody also said there wasn't much storage under these seats. I actually haven't had any problems with that either. Yeah, there's a lot of junk under there, but you could definitely slide like a box under here or something like that, especially under the passenger seat. And look at that. That's a lot of storage. I mean, nobody's been talking about this stuff. Yeah, you don't get any here, clearly, because you've got that battery ventilator thingy, whatever that's called. But I mean, whatever, it's fine. It's totally fine. You don't get storage under these, but honestly, I like that better because my kids are absolute masters of junk. I mean, they bring so much garbage into the car, so I'd rather not have stuff hiding in different places. This, I put these in there as well. These do have little adhesive things on the back of them that I put there because they don't stay otherwise. And then this is just kind of feels really nice. This thing is quiet. I cannot tell you how quiet it actually is coming from the previous cars. Okay, so in the back, let's just see here. Got some stuff back here already. I did get a tonneau cover. I think everybody gets that. It's quite nice, actually. I think I'm going to leave it installed. And it fixes really easily. Well, when you're not trying to do it with a phone in your hand. And then this guy, you know, you've already seen the spare tire. There's actually a decent amount of additional storage under that as well. It's another thing I was a little surprised about, because one of the things I was concerned about with this thing was where I was going to put things. But I've got my little tire inflator thing, and then the useless cargo net right there. I don't know how I'm going to use that. It's like a spider style net apparently. There's the manuals that the car came with, and this is some silly little fan thing I've got for when I go to my son's baseball games. But I mean, there's a lot of storage here. You can actually cram some things in here. It's not that bad, really. It's obviously not like a frunk or something, or anything as large as the 2009 RAV4's back used to be. I mean, if you're curious how big that was, and I was coming from this, which was nice as a computer technician, because I drive around and use it a lot. This is quite a lot nicer. Maybe there's a way for me to see. That's weird, because the cargo net in this one is vertical underneath here. If you install it like that, even though it's not intended to be used like that, there's no real use for this one except for to hold things down. So, but anyway, enough about that. I do really like this car. It is everything everybody says it is. It is. There's a reason why the customer satisfaction scores are off the charts from like Consumer Reports and whatnot. Oh, one regret I do have is I wish I had the smart key system on the back doors, but I went in immediately and changed the setting on the screen here so that when I unlock the driver door, it would actually unlock all doors. So when I grip the driver door there, all the doors unlock. So it's not so bad. It actually is a pretty good compromise. I just grabbed the driver door and all the kids can get in at that point. Lots of beeps. People complain about that. Apparently there's no real way to turn those off. The seatbelt beeps you can to some degree, but the getting in beeps just kind of stick around. There's my name. In case anybody wants to know who I am. Yippee. Not that it matters. Probably not gonna do a lot of videos. Like and subscribe. I'm half kidding. But actually, maybe you should, because I might put some cool stuff up of other varieties. I do data recovery and computer work and things like that. And if you want to see some thoughts from somebody who had 10 plus years as a product reviewer professionally, maybe that's something useful to you. So, okay, so the screen looks fantastic. Speaking of somebody, coming from somebody who did a lot of tech reviews. I mean, I did a million laptop reviews for Notebook Check. This screen looks really good. I mean, nobody talks about resolution. You can't really tell what the resolution is. This is kind of grainy here, but that's actually because there's no anti-aliasing on this stuff in the software. That's really just Toyota's fault. Obviously, you can go to Android Auto. That does fill up the entire screen, by the way, which looks really, really good. I mean, it's really quite nice. And then, of course, you get, that is not my song, by the way. It's my kids. Don't criticize me. Don't at me about my songs popping up here. That's not mine. Anyway, so this is cool. I don't like having to go here and then go up to Toyota to go back to the main interface. But honestly, I've found the navigation that's built in to be quite good. And I think I'm going to use it for the first year and just see how it goes. And if it sucks, I won't renew it. But I might actually wind up paying for it. I will say I really wish they had Spotify on these built-in audio sources. The fact that they only have Apple Music and Amazon Music is just annoying. But whatever, it's fine. Hopefully they actually upgrade that. I don't have a lot of faith in Toyota to do a lot of, you know, post-purchase upgrades, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe they will, since this is capable of that. Anyway, also the Toyota Assistant thingy, it's okay. It's fine. I mean, you can use it in a pinch. I don't really use it very much because it doesn't tend to understand you very well. I think maybe if I ever go to Android Auto, you know, Google probably works a lot better than that. Anyway, quite nice. Really like it. This is cool too. I was worried about the glare, but honestly, the glare looks a whole lot worse on this video. A whole lot worse than it does in real life. I don't know why that is. It's very strange. Like me sitting here right now, I don't see a lot of glare on that screen, but I'm looking at it in the video screen and there's a ton of freaking glare. So, I mean, take my word for it. It's not that bad. So whatever people say about the brightness and stuff like that, it's really not that bad. I was actually concerned about that. These are nice too. I hate that I'm missing that panoramic view monitor. That would be the one thing I think I care about from the premium package, apart from the smart key system. Didn't really want the pano roof, kind of like this one. The car is very quiet in the sense because I do not have roof rails. I actually had them take those off as well, and they did it because they're awesome. So you can see, it's just the conventional, what are they called? They're not those are roof rails, I guess. I don't even know my terminology. I'm not a car reviewer, but I don't have the cargo rails, or the crossbars, I guess they're called. Anyway, yeah, a couple other thoughts here, just some parting thoughts, and I'll write up a thing about it too, because I know everybody wants to see more, no matter how much these videos are unprofessionally produced by me. The air conditioning is actually really good. I was worried about that too, coming from a car that absolutely freaking freezes you out the instant you set something in it, which I love. I mean, I really like that because frankly, I'm a hot-bodied person, and I hate to sit in a seat that is burning up all the time. And I have had no trouble with the air. I mean, this thing, you know, I haven't driven in like 90-degree weather yet, but it feels like it will do just fine in that. Eco cool, I haven't really fooled with much, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm on EV mode right now. I mean, and it's heating up right now, and the heat feels pretty good. Of course, it's only like 50 outside. It's not that cool, but it's just nice. So anyway, really like it. Parting thoughts from this video. Really couldn't be much happier than I am. I mean, obviously there's some things that I wish were slightly nicer. I mean, I wish these things came off like, what is it? I can't remember what the people that do that check is. Makes me laugh, but these don't slide. They just have the little thingy that comes out. That's fine. My old one did too. This is nice. Got my Maui gems up there. Also really like these LED lights. They seem fine. They're bright enough. That's cool that turns on all the lights, by the way, in the cabin. It's neat for your kids. That's pretty much it. If you guys want to see anything else in particular, you know, I haven't driven this yet on video. Maybe I'll do that in a little bit, but you all have probably seen enough of that stuff. All I can say is it's very quiet. So if you're worried about noise, and the ride quality is extremely good too. So no problems, no concerns about any of that stuff. I would banish the thought if you're concerned about that. And so anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.